Yo, what is going on, guys? In this video, I want to talk about something very briefly that I think you guys are really going to enjoy, and that is going to be Madden 21 and the new feature that they put in the game for 21 that will allow us to audible up or down two formations of the same personnel grouping. Meaning, basically, if we come out with two running backs, a tight end, and two receivers, now we can audible from all of our run sets up to other sets that have that same grouping, right? As long as they have one tight end, two running backs, and two receivers, we can audible up or down to those sets. So in this video, I'm going to give you an example of how you can really maximize your offensive playbook with that in mind. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the 49ers offensive playbook. It's the live book, or even the regular book. The stock book's going to have the majority of the same stuff. So Madden 21, the playbooks have been released. The majority of the stuff is staying the same as of right now. Now, we do know updates will be coming to the playbooks, but until those updates actually hit, I wanted to give you guys something that you can utilize day one, and that's what this is. So let's switch over to the gameplay, and I'm going to walk you through how this will work. All right, so already talked about how the thing works in general, but let's go ahead and take a look at what I think is going to be a very popular formation for this reason, and that's going to be the gun split close package. Now, or the gun split close formation. The package that we're going to utilize here is going to be one click to the left on the right analog stick, and you see it's tight end slot. Now, with tight end slot, that gives us that personnel grouping of two receivers, a tight end, and two running backs. So in theory, we should then be able to go from this formation right here, which has good passing plays in its own right, and two good running plays in fullback inside and power O, and audible down to what would be the bread and butter of our offensive scheme, which would be the strong close or I-form close or I-form close slot formations. So, for those of you that haven't looked into this book in the past, this is basically Oakland's playbook in terms of the run sets. As you can see, you have a very good strong close, arguably one of the best in the game with the live book because it has the play mesh post. You have flanker drive, you have angle out, you have double post, PA deep cross, you have PA deep, PA scissors, wide trail, wide receiver out, which is actually the exact same play as angle out. Oddly enough, it's the exact same one. But on top of it, you still have your halfback dive, your zone weak, your counter weak, your off tackle, and you can audible over to the I-form close, which has your other really good passing plays, right? You have PA tight end lead, which for those of you guys that know was one of the main passing plays at the beginning of the year, last year. And really, it was dominant throughout the entire year. But even more so importantly, you still have your ISO, you have your stretch, you have the power O's, the 94 wheel. Like, you have other good running plays. Like, there's a toss in here, for instance. Tosses in Madden 21, at least in the beta, were pretty decent. Like, they weren't anything, super glitchy, but if they were in a defense that wasn't respecting it, you could pop a toss off. So it's just things like that that really is going to take what normally would have been a scheme that really struggles with the heavy blitzes, which is same thing that happened last year, right? The strong closes really struggled a lot with 3-4 bear. I-form close is another one. Like, it's a really good run set, but blitzing it can cause problems, right? Especially your edge blitz where you start sending 7-8 people. Now, the reason that this can be revamped for Madden 21 and you can really take advantage of it is going to be because now you can come out in split close. For those of you guys that dealt with split close last year, which is pretty much everybody, whether it was split close pats or regular split close, you probably know how difficult it was to blitz this set because you have the running backs to both sides of the quarterback. So you can't send your generic overload blitz because you can A, cut block and roll up out of the pocket, or you could simply just block both running backs, and it is a crazy version of a max protect. It is very difficult to blitz this formation. So the ability to go from this set and audible down into your strong close, your I-form close, your I-form close slot, your I-form slot. You even have pistol weak in this set, right? So like you have really good options to pass the ball out of this playbook. Now, is split close going to be your main bread and butter offense? No, it's probably not. But it does add that element to the offensive scheme that basically makes a very big weakness to this scheme in terms of passing and completely negates it. So we already know going into 21, zones are a little bit worse. Pressure's not nearly as crazy. You can throw to the flats, which just goes once again back into the benefit of this offense because now in split close, you can go to flats to both sides of the field and they have to respect it. So this is going to be a formation or a scheme in general that's going to allow you to really control the clock. Like this isn't going to be your going up and down the field scoring 40. But if the game is anything like the beta was, then you might not need to getting to those shootouts. It could be very reminiscent of Madden 09 for those of you guys that followed that scene competitively, where the game really became a who controls the clock better type of game. Because if you score too quick, you are going to struggle to stop your opponent, and that's a possibility in Madden 21. Even though we expect them to make Madden 21 defense better, at least a little bit, it's definitely nice to have in your back pocket. So I definitely think that this little element is something that is not getting talked about enough, and this is the perfect example of how you can take a strength of the element of what they wanted to do and turn it into a strength, I guess is the best way to word it. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Not getting into too many specific setups or anything like that. We got to see how the game actually plays come, day one. But overall, this is going to be one of those things that I could easily see becoming meta. The run, although it's not as dominant as it was this past year, was still solid in the beta. And the fact that you can audible up to split close, or excuse me, audible down to split close, audible down from split close, I should say, will make this and take it to a whole nother level. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Can't wait to start dropping some content here and on Madden Daily. So hopefully you guys are ready as well. Let's go.